I have to interrupt to bring up a special guest who you may have seen just arrive. He's the kind of special guest with a motorcade, so we have to get him up on stage as he does several events, as many as he can, every night. The way I'll put it is this: in the room full of trained killers, any politician is welcome. And this man is very special. He's armed with his iPad. He's got his remarks ready. He is 5 feet 8 inches of twisted steel, the mayor of the city of New York, Michael Bloomberg.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I just want you to know I can't wait for the next time I get the opportunity to introduce Brian Williams. Usually people don't want two commanding, ruggedly handsome, wildly popular public figures with great hair on the same program, but I guess they made an exception tonight. Actually, I had some recent practice sharing the bill with an American icon like Brian. I appeared with Mickey Mouse yesterday at the new Disney store. Now, Mickey may be cuter, but Brian's got a better voice. Anyways, Brian Williams, all kidding aside, is one of the great Americans. He's one of those people that really explains to the public what's going on in this country and this world. And I, for one, am a loyal watcher. And for what it's worth, Brian, my mother, who is 101, almost 102, she watches you religiously. Now, I've told her if she doesn't watch One Day, the World Will Still Go On, but she's not so sure about that. Anyways, it's great to be here on the eve of Veterans Day with a great organization, Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America. And I would like to recognize tonight's incredible honorees, David Gelbaum and Wes Moore. Now, David I just met, but Wes is an old friend of mine. Wes and I are both alumni of Johns Hopkins, although he is a little younger than me. Not a lot, just a little, Wes. And I would urge you to go get his book. He wrote a book called, the title was The Other Wes Moore, which was about another kid who's had the same start in life that he did, except that Wes turned out to be a Rhodes Scholar and great military man and everything else, and the other kid wound up in jail for the rest of his life probably. And it just goes to show how your paths can diverge. Some people are lucky, some aren't, some have a support system, some don't. And we have to make sure that we give everybody in this country a support system, kids and particularly, yes, and particularly those that put themselves in harm's way to protect us. That's true of our police department and fire department here. It's true of our veterans overseas. There are a lot of people that care about others and are willing to sacrifice sometimes everything. I'll tell you a great story. I was at a hamburger place that my girlfriend and I go to on 74th and 3rd about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And I was having a hamburger. I had a hamburger in one hand and a beer in the other. And this big hulking guy comes up and says, "Can I talk to you?" I said, "Sure. I mean, I work for you guys, so the rule is, even if the security guys say, you can kill me, but you won't get away, but you can't kill me." He comes up and he says, "I want to talk to you." I said, "Fine." He said, "I want to talk to you about the mosque." So I'm thinking, I need a hole in the head in the middle of dinner. But he said to me, and I'll never forget this for the rest of my life. He said, "I just got back from 2 tours in Afghanistan, and some of my friends didn't come back. You keep going out there and telling everybody what we're fighting for. The First Amendment's the First Amendment, and that's what we should." New York City has always had a special bond with our military and its veterans, and I've seen that bond grow even stronger since the attack of 9/11. And while I think it's fair to say we can never fully express our gratitude, we can make sure that the veterans have a chance to live the rest of their lives with the health care that they need and deserve. I think that's our moral obligation, and here in New York City we're trying to live up to that obligation, not just with words but with actions. And leading the charge is the Mayor's Office of Veteran Affairs, which has recently ramped up its responsiveness to veterans' needs by getting more city agencies involved in that effort. Now, of course, governments can't do everything and can't do anything it wants to do or even needs to do, and that's why organizations like IAVA are so important and why your presence this evening really is so necessary. Every dollar raised makes such a difference to the veterans who've gone overseas, put their lives on the line, and come back so that the rest of us can say what we want to say and pray where we want to do it, and be in charge of our own destiny and share in the great American dream. Sometimes I think we forget, for all the problems that we have in America, it is still the greatest country ever conceived. It is the greatest democracy. And you know, we aren't perfect. Sometimes we do some stupid things. Sometimes we do some despicable things. But the American public is a lot smarter than anybody gives them credit for. In the end, Americans understand, and they come back and they help each other and they do what's right. We've stood up for the rest of the world and we stand up for each other. And I don't know about anybody else, but I can't tell you how proud I am to be an American, and particularly to be a New York American. So I'm off to my next event, but let me tell you, it is great to be able to, tonight, tomorrow, and I think all year long, say thank you to people who are making my life better and my kids' life safer. Thank you, and God bless.